Welcome to the channel. At some point in your life, have you ever found yourself wanting, even yearning, for love? Feeling like you're the missing piece to finally complete your life? Society often portrays love as the ultimate goal, the pinnacle of the human experience, the magical solution to all our problems. However, what if we told you that this never-ending search for love could actually be more of a hindrance than a help in finding true happiness and contentment? Hello and greetings to all of you who follow us. Today, we're going to explore a perspective that challenges what many have been taught about love. Let's go back in time and explore the wisdom of the ancients, the Stoics, a school of philosophy founded in the 2nd century BC based on the knowledge that the wise live in harmony with the divine reason that governs nature. The Stoics had incredibly insightful observations about our emotions, especially when it came to love. They believed that our emotions should not dominate us, but rather that we should understand and control them. But what does this have to do with our modern searches for love? Join us as we unpack historical teachings and explore why they believed we shouldn't pursue love. As we delve into the historical perspective on love, it is important to understand the views of some of its most influential thinkers. Among them, Seneca, who contributed significantly to the interpretation of love. He believed that love is a natural and necessary part of life, but warned against letting it consume us. For the Stoics, like all emotions, love must be moderate and controlled, not becoming an obsession that diverts us from our path towards virtue and wisdom. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and devout Stoic, expressed similar sentiments in his famous work Meditations. He emphasized the importance of maintaining control over our emotions, reminding us that we have the power to shape our perceptions and responses. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, taught that our peace of mind depends on distinguishing what we can control from what we cannot. While we can't control whether someone loves us, we can control how we respond to those feelings. At the heart of the Stoics is the concept of preferred indifference. These are aspects of life that are neither intrinsically good nor bad, but can contribute to a good life if used correctly. Love, for the Stoics, fits into this category. It is not a virtue in itself, nor is it something intrinsically bad. Instead, love is something that can add value to our lives, but it should not be our ultimate goal, nor determine our happiness. This is a truly radical perspective, especially in contrast to narratives that often teach us that love is the ultimate source of happiness and fulfillment. However, the Stoics believed that true peace comes from within, not from external factors, not even from love itself. But what do we mean when we talk about chasing love? In essence, pursuing love is making the search for a romantic partner the main goal in life. It is the tireless pursuit of love, often to the exclusion of other areas of personal development. When we constantly pursue love, we are looking for someone to complete us, satisfy us, and give meaning to our lives. At first glance, this may not seem like a problem. After all, love is a beautiful and enriching part of the human experience. However, when we look deeper, it becomes clear that this mindset can lead to a number of problems. Firstly, it puts our happiness in someone else's hands. When we pursue love, we often link our self-esteem and happiness to whether or not we are in a romantic relationship. When we're single, we can feel incomplete or like we're failing. Stoics would argue that this is a mistaken source of value. They believed in finding satisfaction within themselves rather than looking for it in external factors. Secondly, when we focus so much on finding love, we can neglect other important aspects of our lives, like our personal growth, our passions, and our friendships. We can get so lost in our search that we end up losing ourselves. So let's rethink our search for love in light of these ancient Stoic teachings. Should love be our ultimate goal? Should we put our happiness in someone else's hands? Or can we find true peace and contentment by looking within ourselves and cultivating virtue and wisdom? Our uniqueness and the characteristics that make us unique can lead us to seek love in harmful ways when our priority is simply being in a relationship. In this process, we may ignore warning signs, tolerate abuse, or accept partners who are not right for us. Sometimes we get so obsessed with finding love that we lose sight of what a healthy, respectful, and fulfilling relationship should look like. Ultimately, this relentless search for love can result in chronic dissatisfaction and unhappiness. However, this does not mean that the Stoics were against love. On the contrary, they valued love but advocated a more conscious approach. Let's explore the Stoic lessons about love. For example, Epictetus, a former slave who became an influential philosopher, emphasized the importance of distinguishing between what we can control and what we cannot. According to him, love falls into the second category. He advised that we should appreciate love when it is present in our lives, but we should not desperately try to grab it when it is absent. Another notable Stoic philosopher, Seneca, taught that we should love without attachment, recognizing that all things are fleeting. This does not mean being indifferent to love, but rather being resistant to change and loss. He stated that those who love with desire are constantly distressed. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and philosopher, expressed similar sentiments in his Meditations. He encouraged us to accept the circumstances that fate imposed on us and to love people sincerely, without despair. These historical lessons about love point us toward a healthier, more resilient approach. They encourage us to appreciate love when it is present in our lives, committing ourselves fully to it, but without making it the only source of our happiness. In essence, love should be a part of our lives, not the entirety. Adopting this historical perspective of not chasing love can bring significant improvements to our lives. This can strengthen our emotional resilience, making us less dependent on the presence of love for our happiness. Furthermore, it promotes self-fulfillment, allowing us to invest more in our personal growth, passions, and interests, and find fulfillment within ourselves. Implementing these principles into our everyday lives requires self-awareness. Start by recognizing your patterns of constantly seeking validation and the tendency to jump from one relationship to another out of fear of loneliness. Be honest with yourself about these patterns, as this is the first step towards transformation. Instead of looking for love outside of yourself, start cultivating it within yourself. Practice self-care activities, explore your interests, and build a life you love regardless of whether you're in a relationship or not. Remember that you are already complete. Embrace solitude, as it offers space for self-knowledge, reflection, and personal growth. Dedicate time to being alone and learn to enjoy your own company. In an era dominated by dating apps, it's easy to become obsessed with the search for love. Cultivate patience and allow love to develop naturally and at its own pace. When entering into a relationship, keep historical principles in mind. Maintain your independence, don't make the relationship the only source of happiness, and ensure there is respect and mutual understanding. Improve your emotional resilience by learning to better deal with your emotions. Stoicism does not mean not feeling anything, but rather not allowing your emotions to control your actions and decisions. Establish a starting point to deal with your emotions in a healthier way. Remember, this is a journey and there will be difficult days, which is perfectly normal. Change takes time, but with each step you take, you're closer to a life of emotional resilience, self-fulfillment, and healthier relationships. The Stoics taught us to value love when it is present, release it when it is not, and always maintain our inner peace and self-respect. As the renowned historical philosopher said, the serene and peaceful man is not the one who runs away from things, but rather the one who is their master. We all aspire to become masters of our emotions and our lives. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Stoicism and your perspective on love. If this video brought you value, consider liking and sharing for more content like this. Remember that personal improvement is a journey we are all on together. Don't forget to activate the notification bell and subscribe to the channel. To the next.